Well, it was an utter storm on dust from the boys on Runtime. Prosto, they are really going to have to hope that they've done their homework and that the cash that they've had saved up for a rainy day now comes back to reap the reward. That's going to be their map pick. Hugo, we're getting ready to head into this one. Map number 2, potentially Prosto staring down the barrel of elimination. I mean, they are staring down the barrel of elimination if they lose this match. So, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty scary situation to be in. I think coming into this, there was, Prosto, they've been together longer, but you kind of look at like the players in this team and their relative success in terms of like actual tournament wins, etc. And they haven't really ever achieved all too much. Then you kind of take a look over at Runtime. There's a lot of seasoned guys within this team, who have all been around the block. They have a lot of experience there. So I think, taking that into account, if you think about the situation Prosto are in, being a map down, being in that elimination bracket, how are they going to be doing mentally? How's this team going to be, are they going to be able to cope? Are they going to be able to grind this out and take us through to a third map?
It's hard to say so. Like, it's really hard to predict that. I think this is really going to hurt the team and the mentality for sure. Like, if you look at the last 2 minors, if we go back to, all the way back to the Boston minor, for example, for the CIS region, they were there as well. They ended, I think, in 4th place. Spirit being their kryptonite, knocking them out in the lower bracket. The playoffs there, very close to making that top 2 spot, though. Last minor, London minor, they came 3rd place. Spirit again. I think they beat Spirit, and then Spirit knocked them back out again for the 2nd time. So 1 space away from actually qualifying for the playoffs and sorry, qualifying for the actual major. And now potentially going out in last place of the entire CIS minor.
Yeah.
That's got to hurt. That's really got to hurt.
Yeah, definitely, right? Because if you look at it, if you're Prosto, at least you can be like, well, we are slowly improving. We've moved, we're moving up slowly but surely. We're just 1 step away.
4th to 3rd to
exactly
8th
to last. Yeah, or that is certainly not the situation you want to be in if you are Prosto. Over on the side of Runtime, I'll be honest, I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I was a bit worried. You take a look at this team, and it's like, there's a lot of talent in it, but also these guys, realistically, it's like we've seen a few stints of them in other teams. You think of it, C's, Starix as well. They didn't really deliver too much hype back then, but in this team, C's was really doing quite well in that previous map, and Kalinka had a fantastic showing as well. But anyway, pistol round already underway, and Runtime going to be boosting players up into middle. Scooby and Kalinka, that really is kind of the real firepower duo along with C's as a trio, really, but they boosted up 2 of the top performers from the previous map to try and find the opener down in mid.
Oh no, it's actually not to find the opener. They're going to go for the A play, and these mid players are going to come in late to split the highway. By the time these A players are already out onto the site, that's when the push comes through middle, and there it is. They do find the opening kill over on A and mid at the same time. In sync are Runtime with 2 early frags and the bomb down. C's isn't done with that. He's on a tear. And just like that, there's 2 more CTs left up in a 2-on-5. Pretty difficult situation to try and get back into. Runtime have basically solidified the pistol round, and well, it's dust all over again, Harry. Flawless over there in pistols, and looking to do it once more. Kenzor exits at a most, and he will find 1.
Yeah, but I mean, exits in a pistol round, they don't feel like, the most rewarding of kills. He's going to keep on getting them, though, so they finally managed to shut him down. Runtime finding the pistol, as you say, that makes them 3 for 3 now in terms of pistol rounds, so they are feeling fantastic in that regard. And yeah, maybe that explains how this has also been so one-sided in that sense, like, winning the pistol might not be as advantageous as it used to be, but you also think about how Prosto have elected to play this a lot of the time. If you think back to Dust 2 when they lost that first pistol round, they actually force bought in the 2nd round on their CT side so that they could bring the AWPs out in round number 4. But this time they've gone for the eco. They want to try and get that buy-in as early as they can to change things up a bit from how they elected to play Dust.
Oh dear.
And yeah, they stacked B. They've hedged their bets. Idea is here, if they come B, we can fight them in a 5-on-5. Maybe we do some damage with the USPs. If they go A, we just all sit here on our laurels, don't give any money away. We just wait, go again in the next round.
Yeah, all they should do is make sure today they do not go to the casino, because right now things are not looking too great. Their luck is really running out, and the day's only just started, Harry. It's like 10 AM, 11 AM.
Yeah, I mean, we all have those days. It's always nice when you have those days where you get up and it's like everything that can go wrong in a day does go wrong in a day. I felt like we've all had them.
Yeah, sometimes the power even cuts.
Yeah.
Can't win them all.
No, exactly. You can't win them all.
But you can win some, and Prosto are going to try and do that in the spawn. A couple of USP kills coming through. But by and large, they won't be able to get away with these guns. It's going to be held off by Runtime.
Yeah, so one of the things that, we kind of touched upon before we headed into this map was just, the worrying prospect for me is one of the reasons why I figured Prosto had a chance in this matchup was the fact that you have that three-man core that's been together so long. That said, I mean, even with all five, these guys have been practicing for a decent while. Even you take a look over at Yakindar, the most recent addition to this team, even he's been there a little while now. So they've certainly had time to gel. They've had time to make this team work. And, you looked at how that Dust 2 game went. There wasn't really ever trades. They weren't really too keen on switching things up. They never really had man advantages either to play off of Runtime, meanwhile. A team that originally was just that mixed team that Starix put together under pressure that qualified for this minor. And, for a mix, I think their team cohesion in that sense looks fantastic. They're playing off of each other really well.
Yeah, a lot of that is the experience mixed with some of the younger blood. So, nice combination from Runtime. This typically finds success. It is right now 2-0 up on their second map of this series, Prosto's pick. So we kind of expect Prosto to be a little more on the ball here. I'd like to say they'd be able to pick it up, but right now, yet to get around. This should be their chance. Rifles across this CT side, and Def flash into main is fantastic. 2 kills, almost the third, but hey, that will do the job. Yakinda's already picked up one in the meantime as well, so it's 3-on-2 with the bomb under the control of Runtime, and actually seized all the way in the spawn.
Now, this is an interesting position to be in. Does have the opportunity maybe to find Kenzo, or from there they could look to hit that B bomb site. The issue is that they're going to find is Kalinka's still a long way, just batting down the hatches I've made, and now sees turns his attention back around. Now Ivan is on the truck, and Yakindar sitting up. And Heaven just tucked away, keeping an eye on Squeaky. Seized, won't spot him, and that there could mean that the bomb gets dropped as it tries to push on in. Kalinka at this point, curious if he even tries to go for it, and as he edges around the corner, Yakindar misses that shot, so Kalinka does know where he is. Sadly peeking into that tricky fight to win, especially with the crossfire set up from Truck. So will be Prosto managing their first round very early on here. Complete parallel to Dust 2, whereby they went 5 rounds down initially before they were able to get their first onto the board. Even then, the score, I think, was what? 7-1 at one point, or 8-1 rather, and then they were able to start to chain together a little. No, 7-1, and then they started to put together a bit more of an offensive. This time, yeah, they get one in nice and early. Their
first 3 rounds on Dust 2 CTSO were all reset, and then they got 2 at the end of the half in a row by breaking the money of Runtime. So, I'm not surprised Runtime force here, obviously. They want to get that reset as well, try and do it once more, but it's going to be easier said than done with Flaric up in main. 2 kills already coming through from the AK. Def is holding down the forklift. There's 1 trade, but it is too little, too late. 4 kills for Flaric, and this is the Prosto we want to see. These are the individuals shining through that we kind of wanted in that first map, Harry. But we're early days, 2-2. Prosto being able to bounce back from the early loss, and now they're going to be going to get themselves up in the advantage with pistols across the board for Runtime. $2,000 a player. They probably won't even spend any real money into this. They've got a P250, and that will be about it. So, a couple of P250s and a hard eco.
Yeah, so finally we actually have a chance for Prosto to find themselves in the lead, and a chance to try and springboard themselves into a good start here on their map pick. I'm going to try and take the fight here down in mid versus Yakindo. And actually, they're getting tagged down very, very low, but not enough to find the kill. Flaric going to be mopping the players up on A, while Scooby does manage to find him. That should be it now. Gets a second. Second for his troubles before Yakindo nades him down. So, decent damage done, all things considered, by the Runtime buy, if you could call it that. It was just a couple of pistols here and there. But now there is a buy on the horizon. No AWP out for Runtime. Kalinka not going to be donning that anytime soon. Obviously, it's T side of cash, so you can understand maybe they want to try and get something a bit faster. Didn't have the money to bring one out, I don't think, either. It's going to be another problem. So curious to see if that's something that maybe Runtime look into the future. You think about how pivotal Kalinka was with the AWP back on Dust. Instead, it looks like Runtime have their sights fixated on mid, trying to boost up Seized early on. He's going to be throwing up. Hooch now joins him, and they're going to go toe-to-toe versus Flaric down here in mid.
C-stand Scooby, they might be able to spot Flaric here. That smoke is fading, but Flaric gets the advantage. He finds that kill. The mid-smoke as well fades, and Starks is going to run right through it. Teammate has been traded from the vents. Kenzel still sitting up in position. He can easily drop down, and that Molotov will certainly send him packing. He does not want to go forward through that, but instead smokes it just to hold the position. Interesting, because they know he's definitely going to be there, so Stark has to remain aware of the possibility of a push after that smoke does fade. But in the meantime, his teammates are up towards that A bomb site, much as how Prosto have 2 players on the defense there as well. Def getting pressured on the forklift, and Hooch, he's just going to run right out, try and take this early fight, but peeked from the AWP on the site, he's dead. 1-for-1 trade as Kalinka gets control of A, but they're still aware of Def here on the forklift, and they need to get rid of him before anything's going to happen. Oh.
Timing there for Def. Ivan actually able to go to pick up the pieces, and yeah, you noted as well Kenzel smoking off the vent. I believe the reason for that was Starix throws in the Molotov, right? And at this point, Ivan was playing more passive back inside of the B bomb site. So they anticipate maybe the molly is to flush him down into players pushing towards that B bomb site. So he just waits a few seconds. Ivan actually peeks out, checks it for him, and then he hops down into checkers.
Nice.
Obviously, then they realize the play's coming in over towards A, so didn't matter. And Ivan saves the day once again. Crucially, much better start from him, by the way. Already starting to find his form of the AWP. Yakindar going to be bringing out another. So double AWP set up employed here by the CT side. And it's back to the drawing board for runtime. Just Deagles, couple of armor, couple of bits of armor rather. Guess that makes sense.
Sets.
Yeah, sets of armor, that's better.
Sets of Kevlar, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not couple of armor.
Pieces of armor. Well, then you're just lacking the actual armor. You've got pieces of armor. Depends how big the pieces are, I guess.
Yeah, right.
How much do you cover?
Big pieces.
Yeah, is it a chest piece, or is it like a middle finger piece, or a toe piece?
A ring piece, maybe.
A rim piece?
No, I don't even want to repeat it. Here we go anyway, we're back into this strategy. Deagle's out for the boys on runtime. They haven't identified anything. Kills all going away. Oh, Prosto, Yakinda, I'm gonna... What was that wallbang through?
As mid.
Ah, it looked like it was through the boost. There was a dead guy there, but I think he just got... Oh. Ooh. Deegan with one more. That's Hooch to pick that up, but Def's already come rotating up highway. The aim punch plays into that, you see, takes one bullet, and Hooch's crosshair goes into the sky. That will be Prosto managing a 5th round.
And straight away, the AWP coming out into this one as well. Kalinka buying it up the second he has the money for it. And yeah, I don't blame him. We've already seen Ivan, as you said, off to a strong start. Yakinda as well, having a great game at the moment on cash. So get rid of those AWP players. Try and take them out. And Kalinka, rather, is going to do exactly that, or at least try to. Prosto calling out for a tactical timeout. They know that this buy is coming through. So yeah, even though you're not necessarily losing rounds, it's definitely a good idea to call out a pause if you have a note to make. You know, I'm sure there's always things you can work on. No round is without its flaws. Let's see what the approach is here from Runtime as they head into a very important buy round. Hooch is actually secondary AWPing here. I'm not sure. It doesn't even look like it's off spawn. He's all the way at the back, unless he's going for the spawn shot in through the wall. No, he's just going for the pick. Interestingly enough, we did see C's taking that mainly as the secondary AWP back on Dust 2, and the same story yesterday as well. So maybe it's a map-to-map basis for this team. Remember, they are a bit more of a mix. Kalinka, though, early death from him. He's peeking out through the B main, and Ivan's already there with the AWP, so not a great start for Runtime, losing one of their key players. Starks is holding on for the vents drop. If they can throw a Molotov in here and get Kenzer out of this position because he doesn't have a smoke, then maybe they can get themselves a trade. But everyone's outside of B here for Runtime, and Kenzel's in such a good position to lock this entire round down, assuming they don't check it.
Yeah, they're very fortunate. It's actually Hooch over in mid, so not a man with a Molotov to throw one up into those vents. So yeah, you're bang on. Kenzel can just sit here and wait and be ever so patient. Such a hard position to contend with. That said, Runtime must be in the back of their minds that maybe he's gone for the vent boost once again. They saw him do it just rounds ago. They're going to try and hit this B bomb site. And already rotations here from Def. He's out from the heavens. He's gone running by that smoke. Now Kenzel emerges from the vents, and it is just a complete and utter shutdown of Runtime. Inside of B, Kenzel going to go to complete it. The hat trick for him. Prosto, a 6th round. A very, very different performance from them in comparison to what we saw in Dust 2.
Yeah, definitely looking a lot more like comfortable on this map more than anything. If we think to Proso CT side on Dust 2, they're constantly getting brained on by the switch up of strategy from this T side of Runtime. You know, the fast mid plays, the sneak into B, the constant long control. Prosto, every time they try and stack something, they would end up getting it really, really wrong, or you know, Runtime would just throw in a complete curveball. So this is like a map where, you know, not only are the individuals shining through a little bit more, but they just seem to know exactly what they're doing and you know how to approach anything Runtime bring to the table. This main boost again coming through, not going to work out. But Kalinka, oh, sorry, not Kalinka, sorry, Kenzor has already found 2 in the meantime. So there still should be a fairly clean round for Prosto, all things considered. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, with that bomb drop, shouldn't really be any chance for Hooch here. And yeah, I mean, you know, in a way, this makes sense. You think about Prosto that they maybe don't as much firepower over as the Runtime guys, but they make up for that in the fact that they've been together a long time. They're a lot more well regimented on some of these maps that maybe require a bit more in terms of tactics, like a map like Cash, right? You can have your CT side very down pat, and then it becomes very, very tricky for more of a mixed style team like the Runtime guys to try and break on through. You know that Prosto do kind of have all these different setups down towards either one of these bomb sites inside of B, right? We've seen that vent boost a couple of times. We've seen that they like to try and play some aggression in towards main. They're very, very good at switching things up, keeping Runtime guessing.
And how the tables have turned. 7-2 now for Prosto. This is a very similar situation to what we saw in Dust for Runtime. So not quite the same story here. We were wondering if they could bounce back, and so far it's looking very good.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about this as well. Like, in my opinion, I think Runtime should be able to field their best side really over here on this T side.
Yeah.
Just because you can kind of play that more loose style, you can rely on taking the angles. If you get to the CT side, it becomes a bit more problematic. Also harder to try and find those openers. I know, Hugo, you take a particular issue with the B bomb site on this map. You're not a big Cash fan.
I hate Cash.
Yeah.
I think Cash is great as a professional map. I hate Cash in the pugs.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's my problem. Cash is awful in pugs.
At least we get to see a professional play.
Yes.
But this one here, this play is looking like straight out of a pug. They've thrown down the utility, just a standard set piece in towards the A bomb site. Smoke down on the cross. Starix has gone pushing up, but he's been quiet the whole way, so they don't know he's here. And Kalinka now doubling down alongside him. It does leave Prosto for the first time in a very long time at a man disadvantage, but there's Flaric instantly equalizing it in a 3-on-3. That was the relief effort down in mid as well. The man trying to deny these rotations, trying to make this whole retake impossible, and now it's been made possible. 3-on-3, can Prosto pick up an 8th round here?
Oh, Ivan got flashed by his teammate. That slows him down for a second, but he does still get the kill after the flash expires. Hooch has been dropped. Kalinka now the last man standing, and he's got to clutch it out for his team, but he's already being wrapped from the back line, gets caught switching weapon. Ivan with a huge round on that PT-50 as well. 3 kills for him. The defuse, plenty of time, and 8 rounds to Prosto, keeping up this streak. That was very, very close to being a couple of mistakes from Prosto coming back to haunt them, but Ivan able to recover extremely well. And currently, he's sitting near the top of the board as well. Well, I mean, the kill distribution is 4, so it doesn't really matter. But he's having a great game, and this is a player that's really struggling back on Dust too. I mean, he had 7 kills after the half or something like that. So was bottom of the server for the longest time. Is now definitely showing his worth here on that AWP, able to deal with Kalinka, who's now once again on that AWP. This time the connector smoke lands for Runtime. It was wrong in the previous round, so that's nice to see. And it will be a fast B approach into it as well. Ivan, he's got to be tasked with holding this one down because his teammate's already been picked off from the checkers. Ivan, nice shot to Hooch. Now Smoke on the site will try and delay this push, but they're already wrapping his trench. Yakinda not going to be able to help him out. Starix is up close, and he's finished off the kill as well. Runtime own B.
I certainly do. That bomb is trying to go down. Hasn't been able to cross into the bomb site just yet. Scooby, trapped on headshot, is going to now be punching in those digits. And yes, 4-on-3. First time in a very long time we've seen Runtime in such an advantageous position. Retaking this B bomb site is a very tricky business as well, especially with that Molotov still up on C's. That could go down towards CT or Heaven, and that is one of these 2 avenues just completely cut off for Prosto. They're still going to try and make this happen. They've thrown in all the utility. Flarek gonna be the man to try and open up, and there's Starek's dropped. Flarek's in with another, and he's got to go above and beyond and get a little bit more. Flarek's on 3, and they have to now try and get this defuse. Time's ticking down. Flarek's on it. Def, he has to land this shot. He has to, and he does. A 9th round locked in at Prosto. 3v4 in that retake, and they barely even break a sweat.
That's unbelievable, and I think a lot of that was off the back of a missed Molotov. Def throws a molly that lands in heaven, cutting off his own avenue out the top, and as a result, they win the round. I was going to say it was a big mistake, but if it didn't happen, maybe he would have pushed heaven and we wouldn't have seen that sequence of events. So, you know, unless he meant to Molotov off his own heaven for some unknown reason.
Yeah. Just giving himself giving
it even harder.
Giving a handicap to them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Prosto need a handicap. They're 9-2 up. First tactical timeout called out from Runtime. Very good time for it to happen as well, because this is starting to get out of control, Harry. This is already out of control. We need a response from Runtime. A strong 4-on-3 post plant, a situation that surely looked like theirs, and a massive round for Flarek to actually pull Prosto back into this one with another. 14-6 on him. Having a very, very strong game right now. Kalinka's still top of his board, but not by a huge margin. Prosto even calling out a tactical timeout right off the back of that. So Runtime not getting a chance to go straight into this one.
Yeah, I mean, that's always one of the things that I've always liked. You know, one of the original reasons why people would say that teams do this is like, because you kind of offset that momentum, right? Everyone's discussed. You feel confident. You know what you're doing. You're all on the same page. You all get ready. Your head's in the game, and then it's like, oh, another 15-second wait. Brilliant. Well, technically, you have a bit more time to talk stuff over as well, on the side of Runtime. So it's a double-edged sword, but now the question as well in Runtime's head is, okay, they've taken a pause. Are they going to play differently? Because now suddenly what we've decided might actually play right. You know, it's all a mind game, Hugo.
And
it's mental chess. 4D.
Underwater?
Backwards.
Upside down. Sure, it's the same thing. How do you play backwards chess? The pawns are on the back line, and then your king is up for the taking? Doesn't seem very good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not a military tactician.
No.
I won't lie. No, I'm neither.
If you do not have eyes and you just missed that little A-stream update for you guys, it was just on our screen. 4-3 to Namiga on that second map. Gambit currently up winning their map pick, but that's over there. Over here, we've got Runtime with a man advantage. Kalinka has opened up this round, so that pause, or double pause, working out in the favour of Runtime for the time being. They've started things off strong. That bomb's been dropped back outside of main, but still looking to be somewhat of an A-take later in the round if C's can get himself up highway, but Def has shut it down, putting it into a 4-on-4. Nade to keep Starek's back. Now Def just focused towards that door as Kalinka waits on the other side. Actually opened that door inwards as well. Oh.
Yeah, not quite ready for Hooch there, who's been boosted up over in main. Starix now on this flank from highway, and things really falling apart here for Prosto in this round. It's one man left inside of A, and Flarek not able to readjust in time to deal with the man down on highway. Does leave Ivan up in this 1v3. Ooh, he's managed one, so now maybe a possibility. Starix kind of been the man who set this round up. Now has to be the man to close it out as well. Holds close to highway. Ivan rounds the corner, but he's going to land the no-scope. And now we're down to the 1v1. It's Hooch on Ivan. A duel that never should have been. And Ivan's got up into the heavens. He's going to try and spot him out. Here's the footsteps. He tags him with the first shot. And he finishes him with the P250. Plenty of time for the defuse. And once again, it's another impossible retake from Prosto. Is there any situation in which these guys can't step up and retake a bomb site?
And Ivan, again, the man that we've been talking about so much, who just struggled on Dust 2. He didn't look like he was finding his form with the AWP. Now he's winning 1v3 clutches and post plants, Harry. Retakes, in fact. That's going to be that's going to be a round that will haunt you if you're Runtime. That might even just, you know, tilt you off for the rest of the map. It's 10-2 right now. And Runtime, they've got the money for a buy, but they've not got the AWP. And boy, do they need it to try and fight up against Ivan. Kinder here in middle in this time, and they are going to try and take control. That smoke is up, so they can allow for the boost. Not going to be connecting with the shot from Yakinder, and he's got to worry about that mid push as well with this smoke covering his face. He doesn't know if they're up by vents just yet. Starix has already taken him down. In fact, in that exact position, and Def is now going to be trying to hold on to mid alone, but only a 1-for-1 when they're already down a man. Starix, the trade king right now, and Hooch has even opened up on B. While Ivan will get a responsive frag, there's still Runtime taking over control of this one. I don't think this is going to be winnable, but Flaric has had a great game.
I mean, you never know, right? I feel like, weirdly enough, I still feel like I can't count him out. But finally,
That'll do.
They don't manage a 1v3 or some crazy, you know, like impossible ninja defuse. You know, it just goes the way that it should. Runtime finding themselves a third round. And maybe now they can try and do what Prosto did back on Dust 2, which was salvage, you know, a recoverable half. If you manage a 5-10 half over on your T side, I do still think, in spite of the fact I think Runtime are going to have a hard time on their CT side, just because it kind of shows that maybe they're not that well drilled on this map in comparison to Prosto. I still think, you know, 5-10, you can definitely recover from that.
The scary thing is if Prosto are this good at their CT side and you know, they've proven that this is definitely a good map for them, they're going to have a lot of T-side executes, and that's going to be something Runtime might struggle dealing with them being, you know, a fairly new-founded team. And as we've already talked about many times in this series, Prosto having a long time playing together, at least with this core. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Right now, it's still in the first half. Runtime set up outside of A, and Flaric, he has managed to catch one man out. He's pushed all the way deep into middle as well, killing that top mid player, the boosted man. Kenzo also opening up outside of B. Def gets tagged up in the process, down on A, but right now Runtime is sitting with a two-man disadvantage. Not for long. Scooby trying to turn the tides of battle. Be able to take down Flaric, but there's a long road to recovery here for Runtime.
It's long and it's perilous. I mean, it's a very tricky journey that they're only really beginning to embark on now. Pushing down in towards mid, Yakinda here. And he's going to win that initial fight. So they lose one of the prongs in this three-pronged approach. Yakinda actually finds the double, deals with the man in Squeaky, and yeah, this round, it's gone. Prosto 11-3, and just like that, the reset comes in onto Runtime as well. So there's no money here for this T side into the last round of the half. They just have to force buy down what they can. And you look at it, that's pretty dismal. You have an AK up on Scooby, fair enough. You know, he's the top performing guy in the team alongside Kalinka right now. Starrek's going to be donning a Galil as well, but that really is it. And actually seized. Okay, I was going to say, I hoped he was dropped the pistol because he only had a Glock for the longest time, but he was throwing a PT-50. Very limited in terms of their options here. Two smokes, bunts, and flashbangs. Just going to be a fast A play. It's back to basics. Keep it simple, stupid, as the saying goes. Pushing on in. And they get completely mowed down. The bomb's dropped, and this round will be drawn to a close. It's all on Scooby in a 1v5.
Yeah, you're running through smokes with no flashbangs. That's going to happen to you. Whatever. It's not the end of the world. It's a great half for Prosto, though. And only 3 rounds on the T side for Runtime. I mean, if they were going to pull a comeback, this would be pretty unreal. But Prosto, they've recovered extremely well from Dust 2.
Yeah, indeed they have. 12-3 at the end of the first half. We still have that much more CS action yet to come. The second half is just around the corner. We will be back with the second half after a quick break.
Intel Extreme Masters is brought to you in part by Intel, Vodafone, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, HyperX, Betway, and Pay Safeguard.
$12-3. We almost nailed it. Maybe a little bit too soon. I was very eager to get in on that one. 12-3 is the score at the end of the first half there, Hugo. And yeah, I mean, it's just been utter domination from Prosto here on Cash. Completely different story to Dust. And you know the saying, they're here for a runtime, not a fun time. They're getting decimated right now. They're sitting with only 3 rounds to their name, moving into their CT side, maybe more struggles. And we just love getting our money's worth out of this. So it is actually a really sick little opener. So I don't mind hearing it again. If that doesn't get you hyped for the pistol, they should keep throwing that track in as the frags come through. There we go. Hugo, the Foley artist. Ladies and gentlemen, seized. Immediately going to fall. Starix, quick double. Tell you what, he's been showing up in these last few rounds. For runtime, trying to do what he can, and Ivan will get rid of him. Hooch in with the reply, and that bomb dropped down at Hooch's feet. He's making this possible. Scooby's there, and just like that, runtime will be picking up the pistol here in the second half.
Pop from Hooch and Starix, opening up with a nice pistol round there. If there was ever a chance to try and build some momentum off of it and pull back the game, that would be the pistol round to do it from. Let's see if runtime have it up their sleeves. It's still a long road, but I don't want to count them out, Harry. After what we saw from Dust 2 from this team, if these individuals can show through again, and they certainly have the ability to win this game. It's just going to be a very, very long one. Prosto 12-4 right now, taking that full eco in the second round. We'll be bursting through A main with that flash from Kenzo and Squeaky with the bomb. Close position from Seas, and that will deny Kenzo from setting up a flash for his team. In fact, this is going to be very hard getting out the door with Scooby and Seized on such a powerful crossfire. But let's see if Kenzo can get up into main first, or at least try and flashbang these players. You're going to struggle to do so when you got 1 forklift, 1 MBK, but Seized is going back in for a little bit more. Ooh.
Oh, look at Starix. Look at all this information he's got. His brain is just swollen with it. That sounds awful. Just swollen with information. So I imagine Starix now with a really big old brain. Season can him up these up, and yeah, this should just be a clean round. There's no doubt about it in our minds, Hugo. Not only because it was just a flat eco from Prosto, but also with all the information gained, everything else going their way. 5-12, almost said 15-12, maybe getting a bit ahead of myself there.
The best part about the round is because he was so so committed to main there, they didn't even want to go with the game plan of, okay, I'll get in main and flash you guys out. They're just just rush him. He's throwing Molotov. Just rush him. Just kill him. Couldn't do it, though. Only Glocks, after all. Not too much of a worry. This is where the AKs come in big, and there's yet to be an AWP, which has been really one of the most important factors for both teams, really. We had Kalinka going off on Dust. Second map, we had Ivan carrying Prosto through a lot of these rounds on his own AWP. Nice nade, but Seized is also tagged, so it goes both ways. Flashbang into main. Seized going for a bit of information early on, but won't be able to find too much. Flaric forced forward by the Molotov, but he gets shot in the back. Kenzel's already opened up the door, and Starix was not there to cover it in time. Awkward start here for runtime now, as they really need to win this round. They definitely want the first buy to be going their way. And right now they're already down a man, with plenty of utility on Prosto to go for any kind of execute on either site. All the time in the world here, as Kenzo keeps up the pressure in the door. The rest of the team going to go back and set up outside of main, potentially even throwing in a booster if they want to split that highway. We still have Yakinder outside of B as well, so he can back off and assist. And there's the boost up. There's no one here for runtime. They've given up mid. Remember, they are running 3 SMGs, so it's very difficult to hold on to that portion of the map, and they're gambling towards B, which will likely end in a save here.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I actually like this from Runtime. They go for the bonus round here. They have money now to buy into the next, and they're going to look to try and save. Now, I think it's like a bit of a double-edged sword in a sense. You're cheapening the buy if you just want to go for the rifles in the next anyway, or you keep some of these SMGs up. They have actually started to send the players around. They are looking like they're going to try and go for this regardless. Oh, wow. That bomb goes down, a bit unexpected. I think we might have just seen the 4-man save come in, and that's still a possibility. They haven't committed. The one thing that maybe makes you think otherwise is Starix is... You know, he's pretty far away from the rest of the gang. He might go down. Smoke over into main. Scooby's here, but they're still looking hesitant. They don't look entirely committed. Hooch is nowhere to be found. He's wrapping around from behind. Frags are coming in. Scooby's managed to get himself another. Kenzor out with the trade, and now it is just Scooby left in the 1v3. Try as he might to make this round happen, he's not able to. The Scooby might not have Shaggy around, but he's still going to have the hump at the end of this one. Tries his hardest. It's not enough. 13-5. But as we say, that was the bonus round. You had a guy save as well, so buying up here, not going to be a problem for Runtime at the very least.
Yeah, and that AWP most importantly as well, because Prosto yet to field one on this T side, still running those full AKs. Definitely not a money thing. They were able to buy it up, but no interest as of yet. 13-5, no need to slow down the pace as well. They've been going for these very early executes, and boy, have they been working out. Let's see if that continues to be the same case. Lots of nades early on denies any main presence for Runtime, because we've already seen how much CIS does love to push up into that, and he's going to do it again, this time on the boost in the A site. Scooby throwing it up there. Got to make sure he doesn't make any noise, because that will be heard. Smoke getting spammed. Sees he does spot a leg. He's looking just for one free pick here. Scooby spamming and sees he's already found one, dropping off, going back in on the reload from Kenzor and finding 2 kills. Worth his weight in gold, despite the damage done to these 2 players on Runtime. CIS has opened up in a massive way. As long as he doesn't go peering forward here, he might be able to catch one more player on this off angle.
Tries to walk crowded. You're bang on. CIS does manage a 3rd in this round. Almost single-handedly he is single-handedly just holding Runtime through this one at least. Yakindar's down in mid, but you can see Hooch over in Z. The issue is Yakindar, the second he gets spotted, he's just going to get pincered in. Going to have very little room to work with here. Going to find it very, very hard to create any sort of space either. He does have Def over in main. Ooh, nice shot from him to delete Scooby, but there you go. There's the peek from Hooch. It does come through, and Def's going to get dealt with through the smoke. So Runtime managing a 6th is they are looking to try and get back into this. They're going to go ahead and set themselves up nicely here to start to chain together a couple of rounds.
Yeah, the start of something at least. Breaking the money of Prosto being the most important factor. So for now, at least allows them to build up their own economy, meaning they won't get reset up against 14 or 15 rounds, which is, as we know, always the worst. So that won't happen at least for now, but a 7-13 scoreline likely to be coming through with slight investments, maybe a bit too much investments from the likes of Def and Kenzor, left down to just a couple of $100 each. Fast mid play though, if they can get a bomb down behind this or even a couple of kills, that'd be fantastic from Prosto. They're already getting mopped up. Scooby drops 2, the nade chunking as well. Scooby's not done with just that though, he's even called in for a bit of support. They just want to take these fights while they have Prosto cornered. C's making sure there's no one close in middle, but now they're going to just start to move in. C's wanting to take this fight, stop them from getting that B bomb site. Flaric is inside of that smoke. CIS is coming in for the backline. No need for him. Starks has already dropped 2. Even Dinky, his teammate, very trigger happy there. Flaric has let CIS pass. And while he may have the element of surprise, they're covering the backline.
Yeah, that's the one issue. I mean, as you say, he makes the decision to go ahead and let him get past, but he can't really wrap around because as that timer ticks on down, they're going to become very aware. You know, you start to anticipate if he's not made, if he wasn't with the rest of the guys, the odds are he's trying to go on a flank. So that is why you just see Scooby's posted up, keeping an eye on this CT push. Flaric edging his way around. First has to try and go toe-to-toe with CIS. The silver lining here is at least there's no one really nearby to trade this out. CIS is just here completely alone, and Flaric is able to pick that up, so he's isolated this first fight. Scooby, he was the man watching the flank. He's now had to go push up into the heaven to try and get a crossfire set up with Starix, and only 13 seconds. Flaric really flushed for time there, forced out of the open, very low on HP, and that's the easiest kill CIS ever had in his life. 13-7 here, as Runtime slowly but surely are edging their way back into this game.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves though. 7-13 still a pretty sizable lead for Prosto. The only issue is another eco having to come through. Obviously that fairly heavy investment in the previous round was because it was a double eco after all. They did get reset, so Why not? Bit of a B rush here with just pistols and really not much behind it, but they have opened up with that Glock. Don't know how Kenzel got that kill. Kalinka lacking the head armor. Bit of a mistake. Flarix also picked up another frag, and while that AWP shot will missed from both parties, who's just given a second chance at life. Very important. That could have spiraled out of control if Prosto found that kill. Still retakeable here, but that AWP going to be the biggest problem. This nade, if it lands well, that will take a free kill to the only man on the site. But the Molotov, oh, it's going to force Flarix into the open. He crosses to the site. He'll survive just for another modicum of a moment as this retake starts to come in.
Yeah, Flarix is doing such a good job of really overstaying his welcome right now inside of this B-bomb site. He even goes as far to do a boatload of damage up to the players in heaven. They might deal with it, but it's still a 2-on-2, and they don't know where either of these players are. They have to get on this bomb, and as they tap it, they're forced off, and the flank from Yakindar manages the first. Scooby's on the defuse, and no, he's missed it! Oh, that's the round for Runtime. Scooby just holding down the bomb.
And spinning while he does it with style.
Oh. My goodness, well.
That's one of those rounds that really hurts.
What a treat. What a Scooby snack of a round that was.
That's one of those rounds that really hurts if you're Prosto to lose, but considering how little they invested and how much they got out of that round, it's so good. It's such a good round. They got a free AWP for it. They got 5 kills. It just sucks that they lost it when they had the advantage. So it's got to hurt, but can't win them all, Harry. Either way, 13-8 Runtime closing the gap round by round. Fully equipped are both teams, but lacking on the utility are the CTs and players. Kalinka get caught on the boost. CIS has to drop off. Already a man down, not how you want to start. The flashbang's good, but Kenzel cannot find CIS retreating to the site. Trying to get that spam in, but Kenzel's not biting. This is a very difficult situation for Runtime. No real info. Prosto about to execute on this A site. Look at the rotate though. Runtime just giving up B. They're going for the gamble once again. This time it might actually pay off. They've gone to the correct side of the map.
Oh, it's a good flash, but doesn't amount to much. We did have Ivan playing the anti-flash, holding back so that if his teammates get flashed off the angle, he can re-peek into it. He instantly picks up that trade. Prosto still hanging around here. They're not ready for Seized, and Seized might have just saved this round. He picks up a double, not quite the triple. But Scooby still rotating in. He's now inside of the A-bomb site. He does have Yakindar wrapping around from behind. Oh! But through the smoke, Scooby's dropped the bomb, and there's only 30 seconds left. Yakindar wrapping on round from the truck. He's taking his time, and patience is a virtue. He learns that now, and Prosto 14-8. They manage another, and finally they've reset the economy of Runtime. This could all fall apart now.
Yeah, Yakindar loves these big flanks, and actually this time it will pay off in time. But boy, is that a close one. Nice shot from Scooby, but not going to be able to convert the round off the back of it. And of course, big double main push as well, right? We have 2 separate players go in on different times. Almost saves the day for Runtime, but now if we look, they are in a very, very troubling spot. The money starting to run out, and the rounds as well. 2 more needed for Prosto to pick up their map, pick up cash. And while we were saying this comeback is very much doable, they needed a streak here. The issue is they didn't get long enough of a streak, because now, as you can see, down to pistols, up against 14. They've just got a force buy. What can you do? Goes both ways though. They can reset Prosto here and now, but you're asking for a lot with just Deagles and 5.7s, CZs.
Plus, I mean, you say they can I mean, yeah.
Quote unquote, yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean,
reset
yeah,
the lost bonus.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I mean, they'd submit a buy up, and that's the problem, right? So. Nope.
Not. Ooh. Yeah, that's a problem as well.
Yeah, it's going to go from bad to worse. Out of the frying pan into the fire. Therefore. For Runtime in this round, they've already lost Starix early on down in mid. C's standing alone inside of the A-bomb site. Really looks like he's going to have his work cut out for him as Prosto look to go back to this A-bomb site. It's tried, it's tested, and they already look pretty invested.
Nice. Molotov's going to force C's into the open here, but they don't have the cross smoke down. Yes, they do rather, but main's still covered off, so they won't be able to take him down on that reposition. Does at least move him back to the site. They don't have to commit to this either. Plenty of time left for Prosto to work this A bomb site. C's getting flashed in through. It's going to get hurt. Kenzel knows there's two players here, but they've both given up. And so now Kenzel, he's going to have a real element of surprise coming out through this door. C's has been picked off. Hooch has gone back to the forklift here, but he's got to find something massive if he wants to save this round. It's a 3-on-4. Hooch dropping the bomb, but they've got enough manpower to go back in and pick that up. Kenzel finds one more. Kalinka, the last man standing after Hooch gets picked by the AWP. And you're just asking too much from one man. Already getting spammed through the smoke. He cannot catch a break. Ivan will finish him off. And Prosto, 15 rounds to 8. No reset today. No comeback today. It's looking like a Prosto map here.
Yeah, it certainly is. Just one round is all that stands between them and locking in map number 3. That, of course, is Mirage, if we manage to get there, which it certainly looks like we're going to at this point in time. Runtime needing 7 rounds in a row if they want to make this comeback happen. So the odds certainly stacked against them in that sense. Look at this buy. 2 MP9s, a couple of Deagles here and there, really clutching at straws. But Scooby has been able to open up with this B aggression. They're charging on in. Prosto might just look to play fast in towards A now. Alternatively, they're just going to try and deal with these two B players that have got aggressive. They spot Kalinka there.
Surely not.
Oh, they've ready for Scooby. Flash catches Def off guard, and Scooby's dropped the bomb. Oh my goodness. He's bailed Runtime out of this round. It's now just Kenzo and Flaric remain in it. What feels like should be an impossible 2-on-5.
Surely too much to ask for. This boost is pretty important. Flaric can just hold off onto these rotations. He's got Kenzel close by as well. But yeah, that bomb's still under the control of Runtime and not looking like it's going to be an easy one to take back. They're waiting for rotations from this CT side, and Flaric does catch one. Start of something here. Definitely doable, but they need to start going now. 50 seconds on the clock, and he's still focusing on the MTA bomb site. We've even got this push coming out from Seized, because right now is Kenzel ready for it. He had his back turn, but he's just swiveled back towards main. They're trying to clear this map piece by piece to find out where these CTs are. He needs to check the corner. It looks like he's ready for it. Seized, able to hit the shot. It's a whiff from Kenzel, and that's going to solidify the round. There's no way that Flaric can do it in time. 30 seconds left. Seized will offer himself up, but it doesn't matter. Bomb's still under the control, and Flaric is too far away. Runtime, they're not rolling over just yet. 9 rounds here on the CT side. This game will continue.
Oh, indeed it will. I think you got to bear in mind, though, you look at how much money there is from them. Like, the buy into this round from them, in spite of keeping all these players up, is still going to be limited. Not going to have all the bells and whistles you might like in terms of the utility. That's the one place that we might see them have to take a little bit of a hit. So curious to see how they do decide to juggle it round. And I'm wondering if... okay, yeah. So there we go. They managed to get all the M4s. Yeah, so Kalinka, yeah. He's the man who has to take a bit of a hit. Also, now over on the side of Prosto, they're going to be bringing the AWP out for Ivan. They're also not looking too great in terms of their utility. So a bit cash strapped on either side. Reset is looming over Prosto still.
That was 2 separate nades to Yakinda, putting him down to 2 HP. That's got to hurt.
Certainly not how you want to start a round. It looks like Prosto are going to try and take control of mid, lining up this flash of Flaric to try and work off of. You also have Ivan with his AWP down in mid garage right now.
They timed that flashbang to pop when he hit the ground, so Kalinka doesn't know that Flaric is pushed up this close.
He's got to be very fast indeed. And bit of a bait and switch. Ivan takes that initial fight. Now you're going to be looking at Flaric to try and trade this, and he gets more than just the trade. He finds a double. That flash, Hugo, fantastic that you pointed that out, because it does mean they've got no clue that Flaric is there. He's able to get right up close and personal with the 2 CTs sitting on highway. Now Seized, he might be able to trade out the point man. He's got to go for a little bit more, and he does pick up a second. Hooch now over on truck to try and assist, and a wrap round from Starix. Runtime will have all 3 players here within a matter of seconds. Yakindar tagged down by that nade earlier on. He's polished off, and Seized goes massive at the end to cement a 10th round for Runtime. And carry them through in a double digits.
One thing that's so entertaining from Runtime is they just have no fear, and why should they? This is a mix, right? They're playing so confident. Even these plays from C's and Hooch, these smoke pushes, these aggressive fights. I love to see it because it's so CIS-esque, right? Prosto getting caught out by these smoke pushes. And C's finding 4 kills in that round does keep Runtime in this once again. Another round for the CT side and another eco for Prosto. Harry, this was what we assumed was over a few rounds ago. Now it's looking very much, capable, or very much winnable for Runtime, rather. Especially this one. This should be an 11th. We don't have armor behind anyone or utility on Prosto. So it's Runtime's round to lose here.
And I mean, that's the thing. That's kind of the differences that we've already spoke about between these two teams is that, Yakindar is able to get one, but there you go. The trades come back in straight away. Shouldn't really amount to much more past this, but we'll quickly stay on board. Ivan's all the way over here toward B. Bomb now comes rotating in with him. Def's off on his own little adventure, trying to keep the attention of Runtime inside of A, but the issue is the season's already wrapped around. So he's found the first man in the form of Ivan. Won't be the bomb carrier, would have been a done deal had that been the case, and now it pretty much is.
There we go. Double peak. That will solidify it. 11 rounds from Runtime. 4 more till OT, and then it's anyone's game. If we go to OT and Runtime suddenly have a strong T side as well, to make up for what we saw earlier, which really wasn't the best of halves. This is still very winnable, but Prosto still holding on to that lead. Just one more mistake from Runtime, one more big play from Prosto, and they're going to be going through to that third map on Mirage. Let's see, because it's certainly not a free win for Prosto here. They are being tried and tested. AWP not going to be available here for the T side. Kalinka does have his. We have a close mid position as well. This is to combat the constant boost over that Prosto have been throwing in. Do have early presence towards A though. Flaric trying to put on the pressure. He's nearing 30 kills right now, but nothing can stop Seized apparently. Already taking down Kenzo on the door. Oh, spam through though. Goes both ways. Seized down to 45. Flaric on 19. And Prosto, they want to give up with A main for now at least. Bomb swapped over. Boost not decided to be employed. They've changed their mind. Go back towards A. They make any noise, any footsteps, Scooby's going to hit all of this from close middle. And in fact, look at Seized. He's pushed all the way into Squeaky to his own demise.
And you can see the instant reaction from Prosto. They find out and they're like, right, we're going. We're off. We're pushing on in. They know that in response to that, the odds are maybe you've rotated a couple of players away. Maybe you've gone... One of those B rotations, but Scooby, he did push through mid. He is now on this flank, and he's hot on their heels in Squeaky. The hunter has become the hunted. The only issue is the rest of the guys inside of that bomb site have fallen. The bomb plant comes through. Door's open to Scooby. He's given a bit of an avenue back in, and then through the door, he's wallbanged down another. Scooby might have made this possible. Yakindar and Def, 2-on-2. Left up, trying to hold down this bomb site. Yakindar in with the first, and Scooby sadly not the hero that Runtime needed today. 16-11. Prosto going to be closing this out, and now they've split this series 1-1. We're heading on through to a third map. We're heading through to Mirage to decide which one of these teams continues and which one will be heading home.
Nice to see Scooby end the game at the top of the scoreboard alongside C's, though, actually having, again, another strong map from both these guys, but too much for Flaric, apparently. 30 frags on the man himself. We even had 20 on Yakinder, who was the star of Dust 2, despite Prosto not being able to really get their head in that game. But they're truly in this series now, Harry. They are 1-1 up against each other, and as you said, heading to Mirage. I mean, it's anyone's game at this point. Who's your money on?
Well, I mean, this is my problem, right? Coming into Mirage, I really don't know what to expect. Like, I mean, for over on the side of Prosto, right? It's a map that they're pretty good on. It's one of their better maps, I'll be honest. And based on what we just saw, they definitely look threatening, right? But Runtime, it's like we don't really know what we can expect from them in that sense. I mean, you imagine it's Mirage, so like they're definitely going to know the map very, very well. They can just pug out, and that's kind of the style they were going for, Cash, where it becomes a bit more regimented, where it becomes a bit more strict, that's where the struggles kind of started to show. in comparison to, you know, a map like Mirage, like Dust 2, where you can just play that looser, puggy style. We have both teams warmed up now, though, so it's going to be